What is up, guys? Jackson here with Toasty DIY, and today we're just getting a look and, well, basically what I've started to do now that we got everything going on. I got a lot of free time, which honestly it's a blessing and a curse. It's really nice not having to go into work as much and everything, and now I have time to do stuff like this. So blessing and a curse. So one of the first things going to be doing is these patch panels. I think these were from Z-Car Source or whatever it is. I don't know. I always forget the names. There's like Z-Car Depot and Z-Car Source and a few other sites that are pretty common. But so I got the patch panels for both sides, which both are pretty needed. You can see that there was a lot of body work done in here. This one, yeah, it's just straight into a hole, so that's nice. And obviously I need to do work behind it as well. This is just to replace the outer panel right here, which is a pretty loose piece until about here, and then it actually connects kind of to like the floor pan area, and the frame rail ends somewhere in this area if I remember correctly. But what I have actually started on it is, let's make our way over here real quick, is I've actually started doing the floor pans. So that's it's one of my least favorite things to do. Not because I don't like working on it necessarily, but because I'm one of those people that like I half-ass a lot of things, but I'm a perfectionist, which doesn't go good together because it's one of those things where I don't feel like doing all the work necessarily, but at the same time I want it to look good. But when you don't feel like doing all the work, you don't exactly do a good job. So you can see where I kind of started to get some welding done, but this is the full floor pan kit from Z-Car Source. I think that's what it is. And it comes with the frame rails, and which actually here's one right here. Pretty sturdy frame rails. There's a lot of rust in it right now from me cutting the old ones out. I mean, you gotta see all the stuff down here. That's what I cut out just at the driver's side floor pan. So yeah, there's a lot of rust, but yeah. So these floor pans though, it's $3.99 for the whole kit. It comes with the passenger and the driver's side. It comes with both of the dog rails, as I think what they call them, the little rails that run under the floor pan all the way to about this area here. But I actually ended up removing the seat. I don't even know what you call it. The seat brackets that have the four bolt holes for your bolts, because for one, this one was just trashed. I mean, this is the front one, and it's really thin metal at this point. The back one's definitely still pretty good. I mean, it really never rusted all the way through to the other side. And what I mean by that is a lot of this metal is extra. This is the old floor pan under it. I basically need to get there's a bunch of just small weld tabs from the factory where they welded these into the floor pan, so I just got to get that off, and I'm probably going to end up trying to do something with this because I like how the spacing is already there for me, so I'm probably going to end up just rebuilding the whole bottom half of it. But the floor pans do fit pretty well. Like I said, I mean, it's one of those things where there's a couple routes that people take. One is, originally my seat rails would have been here and here. A lot of people will basically just leave those there, and then they'll cut the floor pan section out. So they'll cut it once in the front, they'll cut it once for the middle piece, and they'll cut another piece in the back. You could go that route. I was actually going to do that, but then, like I said, I mean, I'm really not that far into this project. I just spent today for the first, I don't know, maybe 3 hours on it so far. And it was just one of those things where I'm just sitting there thinking, oh my gosh, this is going to take so much longer to do it the wrong way. I might as well just, cut these factory welds and just put my seat rails back in afterwards. Because I'm like, there's no point in basically having exposed and original floor pans with your new floor pan connecting to it. So I'm just like, okay, I'm just going to put the seat rails back over it. I'm probably going to have some trouble trying to get everything aligned, but I don't think it'll be a huge deal. One idea I did think of, if I don't feel like sitting here measuring everything out to make sure the bolt holes line up, is I could go ahead and bolt them into the seat and then basically sit the seat back in here, do some tack welds to figure out where it goes, and obviously take the seat out and do the rest of the welding. But, I'll figure that out once I get to that point. I do have some holes that I got to fill. Like there's one right over there where the floor pan had already been just half-ass replaced, as you can see up there with all the silicone caulk around it. So yeah, I got a lot of work cut out for me. Then here's the other side. This is actually a shelf. That is an old metal shelf that when my grandpa and I first got this car, it had almost no floors, and we didn't have a welder or anything, and we just used sheet metal screws and screwed a shelf in that side and galvanized steel that was already in this side. It just wasn't bolted down, so we sheet metal screwed it in. But obviously, I know that's not the proper way to do it, so you've been doing some welding, which is fun. And the other problem too is I worked at a shop for 6 years, and we had that what all we did was stainless steel exhaust work. So I'm working with this flux core welder, and it just feels so wrong. But I don't have anything else to really work with. So what are you gonna do? Like I used to be pretty decent at TIG welding and MIG welding, but flux core is going to have to work for this. And then I'll just make sure I primer everything really well and paint over it when I'm done to make sure that we don't get too bad of rust issues. But yeah, so after I finished doing both passenger and front floor pan and then doing the dog rails, I think the idea is just to get some primer paint. Pardon me for that. Excuse me. But the idea is just to get paint and everything on, and then I'm likely going to go ahead and get the carpet kit installed. I have the full center console and everything sitting right over here, which is actually in really good shape. I'll get that installed. Get my shift knob. I gotta get a new one probably because I had the original one, but then I got this wooden steering wheel out of a junkyard from another Z. It was actually a JDM one where it was left-hand drive or right-hand drive, and I refinished this one. So I'd like to get a shift knob that's like the same mahogany color. But yeah, so got a lot of work cut out for me, but got plenty of time to do it, so really cannot complain at all. But yeah, so here's the little update on the floor pan install. Like I said, all I've gotten done is just cut the old stuff out of the driver's side. I got my new one basically fitted in the best I can to my ability. And so next video I'm sure will probably be after maybe both floor pans are installed. I don't really see a point in doing another video just for showing off the other floor pan installed. So I'll probably show what they both look like once they're actually installed, and let you guys know how the fitment was, how easy it was to fit, because I'm sure there's a lot of other people looking into using these floor pans. And I know a lot of people were talking about taking the dash and steering column out to do this. I've talked to many people, and they say you can do it either way. They say it's so much easier with the dash out. That might be the case, but for me, I'm not making my way up the firewall really. I'm more than, I mean, as much as I hate to say it, I'm probably just gonna weld to the metal that's left over here, just because it's still pretty good steel. And I really don't feel like trying to fabricate my own metal up the firewall there. I don't think I even have metal in stock that's this thick anyways. I think it's like 14 or 16 gauge, so probably just leave that as is. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one.